Which one do you like better?
The old ones.
This one? Really? Why?
I don't know.
Too pink?
No, I think I just like that they're like kind of broken in looking.
I do like that. That's the only thing I'm worried about. These is like, these are gonna look like these pretty fast, which is cool, but like...
The pressure of keeping something nice.
Yes, it's like
something I shouldn't have to worry about so much.
Right, I think that's the most underrated thing about this pre-vintage era of footwear is like, bro, they look the same from day one to day I'm throwing them away. And you can't say that with this others, you know what I'm saying? So like, that's the one thing that I think people maybe one day will appreciate about this pre-vintage stuff, but maybe they won't. I don't know. Some people just like to look fresh and clean and crispy all day, but I'm not one of those guys. I always f my shit up.
I just feel like you are either one way or you're the other. Because
me personally, or
people. Because like I imagine if you held up these two shoes to our friend Lisa.
Oh, she'd pick the crispy ones.
Yes,
bar
and she
none.
would do everything in her power to make them look like that
That's
forever.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Is that some people prefer this,
Yes.
and then some people prefer this, or I wouldn't say prefer, but just don't care that they look like this. And I'm in the middle. I like both. When I get a shoe like this, I want them to look like this forever. But that's why I like when they look like this first. Because then when they eventually start out this way and then look this way, I don't feel bad. You know what I mean? Like I've these up and they're dirty, but like they look like they just came out of the box.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want messed up shoes, but if you could just like take that stress away from me, worrying about who's going to step on me first, or am I going to kick something, or
it should be like its own question of the day. Which person are you? Are you fucking neurotic and clean, or are you just a messy motherfucker? You know what I mean?
But still slightly neurotic.
Yes. Who knows? Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we got a detailed look and breakdown on these, what used to be considered bad girls, because this originally was a women's exclusive way back in 1990, but they've been recreated and re-released today for everybody, which is weird for modern Nike. They're inclusive. Although I will say that this was a quick strike and it was a weird thing. The only reason why I was able to get these, because I bought a pair on GOAT, not here yet. Really regretting that purchase, by the way, because I paid over retail.
Stupid.
But I got hit up by one of our longtime day one supporters, PMJC. He actually like hit me up with the link, and it was over on Foot Locker, which I thought was crazy. I was like, what the f, they're just there? So I copped a pair. I just got them in, but the weird thing is that on the box label, like who it says it's from, it says it was from Nike. So I don't know if they're doing what Dick's Sporting Goods did, where there's like some kind of weird integration between both of them. But I think that's like a telltale sign on like Nike's fucking hurting right now, dude. Like Nike is groveling at all the retailers they thinking that they could go direct to consumer.
Help me, I'm poor.
No.
Now, before we deep dive into the product, I just wanted to remind you guys that this hoodie, along with the others within the collection, are currently available now. There's a very small amount left. They're available over at senseapparel.com. Links are down below in the description, and they are available to ship instantly.
Shut up and take my money.
And this is the box. It comes with an original style box, even though I explained this in the last Tech Challenge 2 video, but the original boxes were a lot thinner than this. Like they were like not quite half the size, but they were at least an inch or two. That's probably an understatement. I would say at least 3 inches shorter in width than this modern new box, which I always found fascinating. Original Jordan 10s came in boxes like that, and I was always like, man, how do they fit in there? And I remember pulling a pair open one time and like the box itself, and they did fit. It was just really weird. But this is the shoe itself, and these guys are they're just as good as the other one. I'm shocked. Normally when Nike goes all out with one, it's because they're about to cheap out on the other. They didn't do that this time. It actually reminds me of this ad right here that I was trying to find like original promo ads for these shoes unsuccessfully. But it's this really cool ad where it says, just do it right. To which I say, hey, you people over at Nike right now, what happened? But these things are just fucking beautiful. The shape is so good. I explained this in the last video. When you compare the 2019 edition of the retro to these modern new ones, like these look like fucking Timberlands, dude. Like the toes are just fucking hideous. these new ones look like they used to way back in the day. And I think that that's really, really cool, because at the end of the day, that's what we want when we're talking about retro product or re-release product. We want it to look like what we remember. So when they stray so far away from that, it's a little disappointing sometimes. Now, these aren't perfect by any means. They are slightly different than the original, but I will say that I believe that these new versions of the Tech Challenge 2 are better than the originals in certain aspects, mainly the upper material build. And I'll get into that in just a moment. Starting with the outsole, this thing is just beautiful. And I'm gonna say that many times during this video. I apologize, but really, like, these are so nice, dude. And I know that a lot of people, or at least a lot of newer generation sneakerheads, are gonna look at this and be like, they took that from the Air Yeezy. No, dude, other way around, bro. These came first, 1990. The original Tech Challenge 2 made its debut in 1989, but this specific colorway released in 1990. And like I was saying before, it was originally a women's exclusive. Not so much anymore. I think that's fantastic. Moving on up though, the midsole is polyurethane, and this polyurethane, bro, it's fucking comfortable, man. Like, this stuff, they don't even come with a great insole, which is this guy, by the way. It's not a horrible insole, by the way. It's
look at that molding.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a dense, you know what I mean? Like, it's not bad, you know what I'm saying? But it's not a move insole, it's not fancy, but I think that this is just fine. I've left the stock insole in my Tech Challenge shoes, the Hot Lava colorways. They're perfect. You don't gotta do much of anything. If you needed or wanted additional stuff, go for it. But the stock insole is definitely good. And it pairs really well with this version or iteration or mixture of polyurethane, where it's not hard as a rock. For those of you guys that have the more recent Air Jordan 3 black cements, it's very similar to that, where that midsole for some reason is just kind of bouncier. It's almost like what they used to put out back in the 90s when this stuff was originally being released. The polyurethane back then was more open cell, so it had more air pockets essentially, and it made it for a bouncier ride. Way different than what we get with a lot of these retro products, where they've really like stiffened or hardened things up. And it's for durability purposes, so I understand the concept, but you sacrifice then comfortability. You know what I mean? Like, your cushion gets negated at that point. Not the case here. The more that you wear these, the better they get. Inside the original midsoles was an encapsulated 4-foot air sole unit, as well as the visible one that you see in the heel. However, the more recent retros only have the heel unit. They don't have the 4-foot unit. As far as these retros go, these new Quick Strike remastered ones, I'm not sure. I haven't still, like I said, like, can somebody cut these in half? I haven't seen it yet. So please, somebody out there, sacrifice a pair. Not mine, yours.
No way, Jose.
But again, these are super comfortable, at least in my opinion. I think that they're comfortable underfoot and around the foot. And that's because of that upper build, man. This upper right here is fantastic. If we're going back to these things right here, the 2019 edition, all synthetic everything, these things are basically like wearing cardboard on your feet. It sucks. Whereas the original versions actually featured Durabuck, which is a synthetic material. It was made to be, like, you know, more durable. You could wash it, all that stuff. So if you wanted to clean your shoes, you could. However, the negative side of that is that eventually they look like this. So yeah, not exactly super durable, but you know. Now the 2024 and 2025 editions of the shoe, they actually replace all of the synthetic material with all raw material, and it's great. It's not premium or anything like that, so maybe I shouldn't say great, but it's very, very good, especially for Nike and Jordan standards. And I know that this is not a Jordan, but a lot of you guys watch the Jordan videos, so maybe you'll understand when I'm comparing. It's just a small comparison. So yeah, this stuff right here, it's super soft. The polyurethane coat on top, very thin. There is more leather than polyurethane on the upper, which is fantastic. It's just enough to make the shoe like more durable, and that's pretty much it. That's exactly what it's supposed to be there for. It wears really naturally. Like this pair, dude, I wear these all the time. They still look great outside of being dirty. You know what I'm saying? And that's the sign of not just a great shaped shoe, but also a great material on the shape of the shoe, where when you wear it, it's just part of you. The original colorway was dubbed fluorescent pink, whereas today they're actually being called racer pink. I do think that it looks great. Like when you're comparing it to the Hot Lava, the Hot Lava almost has like a more fluorescent look to it. They both are pretty bright, but like this just, I don't know. It's mainly like, if you look at the swoosh, kind of highlighter-y.
I don't know. I can't tell if it's the lighting in here, but from back here, like the pink is burning my retina.
This one?
Yes.
Really? See, that's the funny thing is that...
Especially the heel. When you pop it towards me, I'm like, ah, my eyes.
Well, with you and your current hairstyle and the outfit that you're wearing and like scrunchy socks over stretchy pants, like your Barbie era,
I'm not saying.
How you hating? What's going on?
I'm saying that like it's literally that bright. Like
I'm just saying
is off the shoe.
Is that the movie that you love to quote so often nowadays? Is this? Hi Barbie. Hi. This is Barb. Look, Barbie would be tiptoeing her ass out of there.
I hate it. I'm just saying it is a bright.
It sounds like.
I'm not hating.
It sounds like. I think it looks fantastic. Now they do have very few pre-aged treatments done to this version. Clearly not as much that was done to the Hot Lava colorway, but you do see it here on the midsole as well as the bottom eyelets. It is interesting that they did not go full out with the toe piece of the rubber like they did with these. So I think that's the part that really kills me. Like when a shoe turns yellow like this, like it just doesn't.
I knew it.
It's the only one back there, but it just doesn't sit well with me. Like, it's just like, what happened, man? They were so pretty when they were new. You know what I mean? So that's what this one might turn into for me. I hope not. I hope that it just kind of blends right in. Now, one of the differences between these and the originals, it's a very small detail, and I'm not talking about the tone of the pink or whatever. It's actually the lining. On these retros, they have got a white liner on there. The originals, I believe, were closer to this, where it was kind of like a light gray. Might have been lighter than these, but that's the only thing that I can see besides the color being a little bit different, you know what I mean? Other than that, they look fantastic. And just like the Hot Lavas, they do have the vintage style laces on there. The weave isn't quite as noticeable because they are like really stark white right now, versus the Hot Lava colorway that were like very dingy looking, so you could really see like all the different like stuff or layers that they've got going on in there. And they also come with the hang tag right here, the original style tongue, which they've thinned out quite a bit. I love it. I love the original patch that you see on the tongue as well. And then on the rear, the part that keeps blinding my partner over there.
Howdy.
Is that beautiful Nike Air branding. And if you are comparing it to the 2019, it's way smaller because I believe that's how they looked originally. Now, as far as sizing is concerned, they do fit true to size. Whatever you typically wear, that is exactly what I would order. If you've never had a pair before and you were curious on maybe grabbing a pair, say you do have some Jordans, like some Jordan 3s, for example, whatever you wear in that shoe is gonna be very much the same as this one. So again, I go true to size. You should be good to go. But with all of that being said, what is today's question of the day? Even though we kind of had a mini one right in the beginning. I don't know if people are going to see that. I'm sure that they will sometime in the video.
Stormtroopers versus clone troopers versus first order stormtroopers. Which faction would you prefer?
Ooh, we're getting a little nerdy today. This is awesome. I'm going to have to go with the clone troopers. I know that what happened to them was really up. If you don't know a lot about Star Wars lore outside of what the movies show, don't worry about it. But if you did want to deep dive into it, it's a vast galaxy out there, man. It's crazy. And the shit that happened with the clones was but that's what I would pick. They were genetically engineered, you know what I mean, essentially, to be perfect. And they followed orders all the way down to that stupid fucking inhibitor chip that made them kill all the Jedi. Stormtroopers, I think we can all agree, are fucking morons. I wouldn't even say like how they were depicted in the original trilogy even truly invoked that, even though it was pretty bad. They couldn't hit a target and save their life. But they even make fun of it in modern Star Wars lore that, you know, Stormtroopers suck. The First Order troopers, I will say, have probably one of the coolest like designs. Like the helmet design looks really sleek.
Are they the ones from
the Kylo Ren?
Okay, I was trying to place them.
Yeah, because like the way that they did it, they've got like the white ones, there's the red ones, there's the silver one. I can't remember her name.
Oh yeah, the girl from
Game
Dragon.
of Thrones.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they thought that she was going to be somebody crazy, and yeah.
Everybody got disappointed.
Oh, yes, but the design looks really cool. Like that helmet, like I said, really sleek. But anyways, what about you guys? If you wanted to get a little bit nerdy with me, which do you prefer? Stormtroopers, clone troopers, or what did I say? What was the other one? First Order troopers?
Yeah.
I almost forget that that's a thing. The First Order was such a letdown.
I was so confused by it because I just assumed like, I was like, okay, clones, that's where they are all uniform. They're literally a clone. And I was like, I didn't realize the other ones had a different name.
Yeah, but sound off below. Let us know. On top of that, what do you think about these bad boys right here, man? Oh my God, they're so nice. And if you wanted to pick one, which one are you rocking with? Well, also, if you wanted to answer the whole like pre-vintage, not, or semi, feel free.
What level of anxiety do you have?
Regarding your footwear. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much for everything. We greatly appreciate you spending your time with us. We will catch y'all on the next one. So until then, you guys have a good one.